So here we have our sumserge contract. Currently, we've been having some issues deploying it, but just gonna quickly demonstrate how um, what our ambitions are and where barring everything with the smart contract. So if I deploy it there, now it's deployed using this address, and what this address that deploys the contract then becomes the address becomes the admin address. So that's the address that deployed the contract. Now we want to do is we want to choose a different account, say this account, which is going to be playing our simulating playing our game. Um, and how a user that would then be playing our game starts. They will start by clicking on the button start, and once they click on this button, they get a random array generated, which is the one that creates the grid that the user then sums up to generate a certain score. And once the user has summed up a certain score, say 23, they can move on to the next level, and that generates a new array and returns what the score is. So that was the input supplied, which is this one. So what is that then used for is that to say, hey, if the user say again plays and gets 10, moves to the next round, we can now we can always check like for this user with this specific address, what level are they on, which is level 2 in this instance, and what's their current score. Their current score is used to calculate what the payout for the user is, and the payout is basically at 1000 or whatever the score is, and it's paid out in the Celo native token. The idea is to get users rewards in the Celo native token that they can then use on the Celo blockchain to interact with other Celo DeFi products or decentralized apps. So here we use the admin address. So ideally, the admin address will be funded with some Celo native tokens, which then approves the amount that the player is going to get, and then we transfer that amount, and then the player is removed from the game. Now you could have multiple players at the same time because we're using a mapping to map different addresses. So this player would then have to start, and then they would get their own array. So if this player got, they're really good at math, so they got 40 the first time around. Then when they move on, they got 70, they got 17, let's say 17 next level. What we can do is we can check what the current progress of that player is. And then in this case, this player is on level 2 and they have a score of 57. And then the other one, I believe it was this one, should be on level 2 with a score of 33. So we can have multiple instances going. And what we basically have just implemented, like we're using the Open Zeppelin ERC20 standard for our tokens. So, and this is the Celo native token contract address. We have a struct that defines a player constructor that's set when the user deploys the contract to the blockchain. So ideally, when we deploy this to Celo, it should then make the like one of the our main address as the one that owns the contract, the random pod. So we generating some seeds here using the block timestamp and the block difficult. Now we are aware of some better methods like on chain, but as beginners we're not really up there yet with in terms of those functionalities. And then the reset board is used every time we move to the next level to clear the board up and then generate a new board. And that's just the function we're using to test out what does the board look like at any instance. And this just reshuffles the board and adds some new values.